Good evening, Democrats. The Sonoma County Democratic Party welcomes you to our 34th annual crab feed. This is the year of midterm elections, and we are being warned by every major prognosticator that the Democrats are going to lose the House and the Senate. I know that you stand with us and refuse to let this happen. With your support, we will be opening a headquarters to continue our tradition and grassroots action during a major election year. We will be working toward electing and re-electing Democrats at the local, state, and national level. You are essential to our success. Your support of this event and the work we do will make a difference. Thank you so much. All of the assaults on our democracy can seem overwhelming, but remember, you are not alone. As Democrats, we are committed to forming a more perfect union, and our work is never done. Together, we can bring about change and strive toward Martin Luther King's beloved community. Together, we can get into good trouble. John Lewis reminded us, but never, ever lose hope, because when you lose hope, it means quitting on your brothers and sisters, on your friends and family, on yourself. So tonight, enjoy the crab dinner and our exceptional speakers and award winners. Thank you for joining us tonight and helping kickstart a hard-hitting, important election season. Let's come together and make our voices heard.
Well, good evening, Democrats. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to the hardest working chairwoman in the entire California Democratic Party. If we could put down those crab claws, let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen, to Miss Pat Sabo and say thank you, Sarge. We love you. Thank you for your incredible work. Thank you for leading us in the best political party here on the face of the earth. We're grateful for your work. I'm honored to be able to introduce our first speaker this evening on behalf of Senator Bill Dodd and myself. I got to say, California is so lucky to be able to have Toni Atkins leading the way as the president of the state senate. She has spent her career blazing new trails. She's the first lesbian to be elected as Speaker of the State Assembly. And now she is the first woman in state history to serve as president of the Senate. Her leadership on issues critical to the success of the Golden State, homelessness and climate, housing, healthcare, women's reproductive rights, and so much more. Her leadership has been simply remarkable. We need to say thank you. Thank you so much, President Toni Atkins, for standing strong for California values year in and year out, and especially during the dangerous years of President Trump. Let's give Toni Atkins a rousing round of applause and a welcome to the Sonoma County Democratic Party's annual crab feed. Take it away, President Atkins.
Well, Mike, thank you so much. And good evening, Sonoma Democrats. And Pat, it's always good to see you. I wish we were doing this in person, mainly because then I would have some crab to go with this incredible iron horse that I always keep on hand. But really and truly, I want to say thank you for sending Mike McGuire and Bill Dodd to Sacramento. And Mike, who serves as our majority leader now, really helps set our Democratic agenda and helps us win elections. And of course, Bill Dodd is an incredible friend, and I'm thrilled to join you tonight. I want to thank you all for your incredible commitment to our party, the dedication to helping elect Democrats in California and beyond. What an incredible lineup you have tonight. I think that speaks to the work that you do on the ground to get good Democrats elected. So you're certainly revered for the work that you do in calling, texting, writing, volunteering on campaigns, not just here in California, not just in your own county, but in other states like Iowa and Georgia. Instrumental in helping turn red districts blue, and that's so important to all of us. And despite the challenges of this pandemic, my colleagues and I have been able to support working Californians and expand services to our most impacted communities. So keeping our legislature blue allows us to be a beacon of progress for the rest of the country. So as we gear up for 2022 and these critical elections, let me just say thank you. And now I think I have the honor of getting to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you will join me, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Atkins, for joining us. Our first guest speaker is quite simply one of the most powerful women on the planet. She has shattered the marble ceiling, twice becoming Speaker of the House. She has led House Democrats for more than 12 years and has represented San Francisco, California's 12th district for over 30 years. Working with President Obama, she led one of the most successful legislative sessions in decades, including the passage of the Affordable Care Act, which provided coverage for more than 20 million previously uninsured Americans. Working with President Biden, she led the passage of the American Rescue Plan, putting vaccines in people's arms, money in their pockets, and their kids back in school. It is my privilege and pleasure to introduce the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Bay Area's own Nancy Pelosi.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations on this evening's crab feed to benefit the Sonoma County Democratic Party. This has been a tradition over many years. I have attended it. I'm happy to do so. I wish in person, but happy to be here virtually. Thank you, Kat, for your invitation to participate with all of you virtually this year. And greetings to my wonderful colleagues, your tireless representatives, Congressman Mike Thompson and Congressman Jared Huffman. As always, I bring greetings from our House Democratic majority and best wishes for a successful and joyous event. It's always wonderful to lend a hand to our Democratic partners and friends who are helping more people come together here in California and across the country to reach out to more voters. Whether it's by phone, banking, texting, or knocking on doors, your outreach makes a tremendous difference. As campaign season gets into gear, it's my pleasure to support your work to rally and register new voters and to mobilize the grassroots to keep fighting for our values. There is nothing more sacred in our democracy than the vote, and nothing is more powerful than when our votes come together to bring about positive change in our communities, in our state, and in our country. That is why we're working in Congress right now to protect the sanctity of the vote and ensure that the right of every voter in America is as protected as our vote is protected here in California. We are lucky in California, but access to ballot box in a democracy should never be a matter of luck and good fortune. Our voice in our democracy, as manifested by our vote, is our fundamental right. As we come together tonight to enjoy some good food, good music, good company, in celebration of our democracy and mindful of the need to guard it vigilantly. Facing the challenge of midterm elections this November, we're committed to owning the ground with our mobilization and to winning a great Democratic victory, because as Democrats, we don't agonize, we organize. And the proof of what we can do when we come together is right here in this beautiful virtual celebration tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to share this lovely moment with you. Onward to a great Democratic victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to give a round of applause to the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Please join us right now. Let's give it up for Miss Nancy Pelosi. We are so honored that she joined us here tonight. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And we need to give a round of applause to our representatives, Congressman Thompson and Huffman, who are fighting tirelessly for all of us here in Sonoma County. No one works harder than Congressman Thompson and Huffman, and we are grateful for their leadership. And we're going to be hearing from them here in just a few moments as our keynote speakers for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to be able to introduce our first award recipient. And this is our Young Democrat of the Year award. So get ready to stomp your feet. Our 2022 Young Democrat of the Year got his start in the Democratic Party as the youngest volunteer in his hometown for the Howard Dean for America campaign back in 2003. And our Young Democrat of the Year, he never looked back. Organizing in Democratic politics, thank goodness for us, runs in his blood. He has been a field organizer for the California Democratic Party. He's been a member of our Central Committee right here in Sonoma County. He's a member of the Wine Country Young Democrats. And of course, he's a delegate to the California Democratic Party. And he's dedicated to building a stronger Sonoma County. He's dedicated his life to public service. He serves as the City of Santa Rosa's Intergovernmental Relations and Legislative Affairs Officer. He is a hardworking planning commissioner in the great city of Petaluma, and he's a board member for Petaluma People Services. Ladies and gentlemen, stomp those feet. Let's go, Democrats. Let's give it up to our Young Democrat of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Scott Alonso, please join us in a round of applause.
Thank you, Senator McGuire, for that kind introduction. And it's great to be with all of you here tonight. It's really an honor to be selected as the Young Democrat of the Year. I've had a lot of friends over time earn this prestigious award, and it's just really thankful. I do want to give a shout out to my wonderful wife, Rocio, who is here in the next room with some friends watching, and she's a member of the Central Committee and just couldn't do it without her love and support. I have a lot of family watching, and my dad got sick last year, and our healthcare system saved his life, and it just underscores the importance of the Democratic Party's fight for single payer healthcare for everybody, because you never know when it's going to happen until it happens and you need help. And that really hit our family hard last year, just as many other families battling the COVID-19 pandemic. And so I'm proud to be a Democrat. We stand for science. We stand for equity. We stand for collective action, and we can't do it alone. So thank you so much for everybody being here tonight. Your support makes our party stronger. It makes us more effective, and it helps get the job done. But we couldn't do it without our amazing chair, Pat Sabo, who has been a tremendous leader. And I've learned so much from her, even when we disagree, even when I call for a recorded vote, when I may be the only person voting no in a Central Committee meeting. But Pat has always been so gracious and such a leader for all of us. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Pat. And I just want to remind folks that young people can make a difference. We have a voice and we deserve a seat at the table. And so many of our colleagues at the Central Committee have been welcoming with open arms for a lot of young people like myself getting involved. And it's just been a fantastic opportunity to give back and make a difference. And thank you very much. And I appreciate it. Have a good night. Thanks, Democrats.
Scott, thank you for those kind words. You are so deserving of this award, and I'm so appreciative that we finally have recognized that. Our next guest speaker is the first Latino ever to represent California in the United States Senate. Alex Padilla was appointed in January of 2021 to complete the Senate term of Vice President Kamala Harris. The proud son of Mexican immigrants, he grew up in the San Fernando Valley and graduated from MIT with a degree in mechanical engineering. But California's anti-immigrant Prop 187 drew him into politics. where he became known as a progressive problem solver. He was elected to the Los Angeles City Council in 1999 and to the State Senate in 2006. As California Secretary of State, he oversaw a historic expansion of voting rights and voter participation. He chairs the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Immigration, Citizenship, and Border Safety, and is a member of 5 other Senate committees. Please welcome California State U.S. Senator Alex Padilla.
Hello, Democrats. Thank you all for coming out today to support the important work of the Sonoma County Democratic Party. With our midterm elections only a few months away, it's time for us to come together and begin the important work of turning out the vote. There's going to be a lot at stake on the ballot this coming November. Climate change, reproductive rights, immigration reform, access to health care, voting rights. The list goes on and on. Now, the recent disappointments that we've faced on some of these issues underscore the importance of not only defending our majorities, but gaining as many seats as we can. There's a big fight ahead of us, and your generous contributions ensure that we have the resources we need to win big, and deliver for all Californians. So I encourage you to continue to support the efforts of the Sonoma County Democratic Party, because they'll be instrumental in helping mobilize the vote. Now, as I work in the Senate to ensure that we can continue to move forward, I'm grateful to count on your support here on the ground. Thank you for all that you do to move us forward, and I hope to see you all very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to U.S. Senator Alex Padilla. We are so honored that he is here tonight for all of his amazing leadership on behalf of Sonoma County and all of California. We are just minutes away from hearing from our 2 congressmen, Congressman Huffman and Congressman Thompson, our keynotes. We are so grateful for the progressive leadership, and we're going to be hearing from them in just a few moments. But before we do, we'd like to be able to present our next award honoree. And I think you're going to agree with this next selection of our next award recipient. She is nothing short of amazing. Over the past year, the Sonoma County Democratic Party has watched Leslie Graves turn the Sonoma County Democratic Party's Facebook and Twitter platforms into a daily must-read for NorCal Democrats and our allies. She provides a constant stream of timely and lively posts. She took the celebration the Sonoma County Democrats hosted for Black History Month and Women's History Month to new levels this year by creating a series of profiles to honor individuals from the past and present, global to local. She also was the brains behind the operation of our first ever virtual crab feed. And by the way, she hosted the crab feed with just a few hours notice and provided music. She even provided all the music for folks picking up their crab dinners in the parking lot that night. All year long, she brought her talents to events and meetings organized by the Sonoma Democrats and sister organizations. And I gotta say, she did all of this. She did all of this while waging a ferocious battle against cancer. Now, tonight, we want to honor her. We want to honor her in the way we should and say thank you, Ms. Graves, for your amazing work through all of the challenges with COVID, through thick and thin. You truly are the best, and you are so deserving. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear you all the way down to Cotati. Let's give it up for our 2022 Democrat of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Leslie Graves.
What an honor. Good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here with all of you, these amazing awardees, and an incredible lineup of elected officials. I am completely blown away. And more than likely, I will be just a little bit emotional during this as well. Thank you to Millie Olson for the nomination. And I am so grateful to the Sonoma County Democratic Party for always providing opportunities to stay connected and to make a difference. I would like to honor a couple people who have made a difference in my life. Namely, my foster parents, Lee and Janet Milligers. They took their modest resources and they made a difference in the lives of children. I would also like to honor the memory of a good friend of mine, Miss Phyllis Gould, who was one of the first Rosies to step into the Richmond shipyard as a welder and a proud union member. Phyllis's life's adventures were inspiring and too many to name, but here's a few. She worked at the Denali National Park as a cook. She was accepted into an indigenous tribe. She volunteered with the Bakersfield Democratic Party during the Kennedy presidential campaign and inspired me to join up with the Sonoma County Democratic Party and put my words to use. She also fought an oil company to clean up the California coastline successfully in Bolinas. And she secured the Congressional Gold Medal of Honor for millions of women who worked on the home front during World War II. I'm pretty sure that Phyllis shared all of her stories with me and others so that we could keep her legacy alive. And so that we could continue her fight for the rights of women to have opportunity and representation and recognition, as well as to keep the fight alive for our environment and for democracy itself. Coming out of the pandemic and all of life's challenges in this past year, I, for one, am looking so forward to coming together with all of you to continue to make a difference in our community, in our country, and around the world. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this honor. And thank you, State Senator Mike McGuire, for that introduction. Thank you, Pat, for having me here. I really appreciate being able to give back. Good night, everybody.
Leslie, what can I say? When we were lucky enough to get you on to the Central Committee, what a difference you have made. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just glad that we had the opportunity to honor you. Now, our next keynote speaker. Wow, this is our first keynote speaker actually of the evening. And he actually, I don't know why I'm introducing him. You know, you all know our 5th Congressional District Representative as a strong leader for democratic principles with a reputation for bipartisan problem solving, a strong advocate for civil rights, protecting the environment, strengthening education, affordable and high quality healthcare, and gun violence prevention. Mike Thompson knows and loves our communities as we do. He is a member of the House Committee on Ways and Means and serves as chair of the Select Health Subcommittee. He is co-founder and co-chair of the Congressional Wine Caucus and a member of the Blue Dog Coalition of Democrats committed to bipartisan problem solving and fiscal responsibility. He also co-founded the Congressional Telehealth Caucus and wrote the legislation authorizing the expansion of telehealth during COVID-19 pandemic here. Join me in welcoming our advocate and friend, Congressman Mike Thompson.
Hey, Sonoma County Democrats, I'm Mike Thompson. I'm so honored to be with you and honored to be one of your congressmen here in Sonoma County. I'm really sad that we're not here in person. This is such a great event. I've been coming here for the annual Democratic Crab Feed since the 1980s. And it's absolutely fantastic every year. And it's so wonderful to be together with all the Sonoma County Democrats and to celebrate all the things that we've been able to achieve together and to recommit to coming together to working for what we're going to be successful at going forward. So thanks for doing it virtually. Like you, I wish we were here in person, but I guess this is the next best thing. You know, Democrats, with your help, have had some real good successes in Washington, D.C. over the course of the last couple years under the presidency of Joe Biden. We were able to pass COVID legislation that got people back to work, kept businesses open, kept people in their homes, got shots in people's arms, got kids back in school. It was pretty fabulous legislation. And we also were able to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill that's going to be able to rebuild our bridges and our road and invest in climate change efforts that we're underway on right now. Things like electric vehicle charging stations, renewable energy buses, and it's the tee up to what we need to do, and that's build back better. We're all working really hard on that. We know that Democrats are going to come together and we're going to be able to get a Build Back Better bill of some sort before this Congress is over, so President Biden can sign that into law. We couldn't do it without you, and we can't go forward without you. Democrats have to come together to make sure that we grow our majority in the House and grow our majority in the Senate. Right now, we've got a Democrat in the White House. We've got a very slim majority in the House, and we really don't have a majority in the Senate. We've got a 50-50 tie, and that's been our problem. We've got a math problem in the Senate. We need more Democrats so we can get these priority measures that all of us Democrats agree are important for the future of our country. So we need to double down our efforts like never before and work to grow those Democratic numbers going into this November election. So I want to thank you in advance for all that I know you're going to do. Democrats in Sonoma County never fail to amaze me in the good work that you do. You know, when I first ran for office for the state Senate here in Sonoma County, we didn't have all Democrats in office. I defeated, as you know, a Republican state senator. I could not have done it without your help, and we need to continue to come together and work to build our majorities in Congress and make sure we pass Build Back Better, get people back to work, create good jobs, and deal with this terrible climate change problem that we have before us. So thank you very much, and I especially want to thank the people that made this event a success. Joy Sterling, Pat Sabo, Katarina Giudice, all came together to make sure that we could have a great Sonoma County Democratic Crab Feed. Enjoy the crab, and I'll see you in person next year.
Can I get a hell yeah for Mike Thompson, everybody? Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Congressman Thompson, for your incredible dedication. We are grateful that you're with us, coming to us from the Santa Rosa Junior College. Thank you so much for your service and for your tenacity on behalf of Sonoma County and the North Bay. Even though we may not be together this year, we're not too far apart. So use the chat tonight. We've had a lot of folks who are saying hearty congratulations to Leslie and Scott. Say hi to folks in the chat, and let's root on all of our honorees tonight. Simply type your note in the chat. We look forward to hearing from you all night long. And speaking of honorees, we are so excited to be advancing our Roberta Hollowell Award for 2022. Now, the Roberta Hollowell Award requires a minimum of a decade of service to the Democratic Party. Now, our 2022 award winner has doubled that. We're not going to talk about age tonight. She was first elected to our Central Committee in 1992. She served 6 incredible years on the Sonoma County Democratic Central Committee. She served on many committees. She helped run our crab feeds. She served as vice chair. She put together all the fair booths while she was here. And in 1994, our Roberta Hollowell Award winner, she was named Young Democrat of the Year. In 1996, she actually attended the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. And she has been a delegate for years to the California Democratic Party. And she was instrumental in launching and leading the local Sonoma County Latino Democratic Club. She now works at Sonoma State University in the Center for Community Engagement. And ladies and gentlemen, she is doing an amazing job as the vice president of the Santa Rosa Junior College Board of Trustees. No one outworks our award winner tonight. Roberta Hollowell would be so proud. Can I hear you right now? Let's give it up for the one, the only Miss Caroline Bañuelos. She is our 2022 Roberta Hollowell Award winner. Miss Bañuelos, take it away.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Senator McGuire. That was quite an introduction. I'm so humbled. Good evening, Democrats. I am honored to be with you tonight, and I'm thrilled to receive this award. First of all, I want to congratulate all the honorees. You are all amazing, and I am in awe to be in your company right now. And just to say, I served on the Democratic Central Committee with Roberta Hollowell, and I knew her very well. She was a mentor to me as a young Democrat, and her commitment both to the Democratic Party and to the CTA were truly inspirational. And that is why receiving this award, this particular award, is extra special to me. I was raised to be a Democrat. Politics was always the biggest topic in my home when I was growing up. And I'm proud to say that I am a strong Democrat. I've been a strong Democrat for my entire adult life. That's why it was really important to me to be involved with the Democratic Party and to be involved at the local level, working on many campaigns over the years and serving on many boards and commissions. My calling has always been to serve my community. Also, bringing the Latinx voice into the political process has been a huge part of my work over the years. And I truly believe that the Sonoma County Latino Democratic Club and its members have played a significant role in changing the political landscape in Sonoma County. Speaking of clubs, all of the clubs have been instrumental in the work of the Democratic Party. I'd like to give them a shout out because we never stop working and fighting for what is right with our democratic values and what is right for our communities. Lastly, I want to thank our fabulous club members, Marsha Voss-Dupree, for this nomination, for this award. I couldn't have accomplished half of what I've done without all of you. And I want to thank the Sonoma County Democratic Party for this honor and for working and supporting me all these years. You guys are fantastic, and I am truly grateful to all of you. Thank you so much.
Caroline, thank you so much. And I will tell you, there is no one more deserving, and it's about time. I'll end it there. Our second keynote speaker this evening is an environmental champion. He fights always to protect our natural resources, which is exactly why Nancy Pelosi appointed him to serve on the Select Committee on Climate Change in 2019. Representing California's 2nd congressional district, and I'm proud to say my congressman, Jared Huffman also serves on the Natural Resources Committee and the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. He's the chair of the Natural Resources Subcommittee on Water, Oceans, and Wildlife. We see the results of his efforts all around us. He has fought to secure federal disaster relief funds for the victims of our fires. He has defended the historic dam removal process on the Klamath River, secured permanent protection for the Stornetta Public Lands National Monument on the Mendocino coast. He is always fighting for climate action and helping California set the example for renewable energy that is reliable, affordable, and equitable. Tonight, we are absolutely thrilled to welcome our Congressman, Jared Huffman.
Well, thank you, Pat, and thanks everyone who's worked so hard on this event. Great to see Mike McGuire leading us as a great MC. He always does a terrific job. And my congratulations to the awardees, Caroline, Leslie, and Scott. Just inspired to have great Democrats like you doing what you do. And it's great to be with all of you tonight. I'm coming to you live, or at least as alive as I can be after a 14-hour flight from Israel that just landed today. Yes, I was in the Middle East for the beginning of what is apparently going to be the worst European war that we've seen in well over half a century. So this is an ominous time, and I think it's important to take a moment to reflect the fact that all of us are thinking about the people of Ukraine. And I think all of us also feel a sense of purpose, a sense that we are on the right side of history, and also that our country is doing a good job in the face of this threat. Clear-eyed, informed by history, this administration is not a go-it-alone, cavalier foreign policy. This is a team approach with our NATO allies, shoulder to shoulder, and frankly, just about the entire rest of the world with us in lockstep to oppose this, because we know what it is. And we are doing everything we can. Our intelligence was flawless. We've been very clear in every step of the way in trying to prevent this war. And now I think we're going to have that same steadiness and clarity to try to end it as quickly as possible. So there's a great spirit, I think, of unity in our country, which is pretty rare these days around this moment. And it's because we're being led well by President Biden and his team. So I just want to mention a couple of things about the work of the Sonoma County Democratic Party in this election. The first is how important this election is. I probably don't need to say much about this, because I think all of you get it, that for the entire history of our country, we've had a two-party system where there was a constructive friction. There were certainly spirited debates and competition, but we always came together because both parties were on Team America, and we found a way to govern. We found a way to get things done. That has changed. In this moment, one of our major parties has just gone fully off the rails. They are no longer on Team America. That's why you see so many Republicans who don't agree with us Democrats on policy or on our philosophy of governing, but they're voting with us right now because they understand that the Republican Party is in a very dark and dangerous place. So this election, more than any, maybe in history, is a situation where the success of one of those parties, the Democratic Party, is essential to the continuation of our democratic republic. It is that simple. The stakes are that high. It's Team America versus the Republican Party in the 2022 election. The other reason this election is so important is because the threats to our democracy and the rule of law, unfortunately, did not end when Donald Trump lost the presidency. They did not end with the failed insurrection on January 6th. This election, in some ways, is the most serious threat to our democracy and the rule of law, because we know what this agenda is. And we also know that the party who's in the majority of the House of Representatives is going to be in position to decide the next president, regardless of what happens in the actual election. So the stakes just could not be higher to make sure we hang on to our Democratic majority. And this, of course, is also about the issues we care deeply about. Our ability to continue leading and meeting the moment on the climate crisis absolutely depends on Democrats winning in this election. And I'll give you just one more thing to be motivated about when it comes to the importance of this election. I suspect all of you share my utter disdain for Kevin McCarthy. He is the most vacuous, soulless, just a font of word salad, hardly a leader. And this is the guy that's going to hold the speaker's gavel if we don't step up and win in this election all over the country. So I just want to give you every possible reason to be motivated and to be clear on the importance of what is at stake in this election cycle. Now, the second thing I want to mention is that we can win this. There is a narrative out there that the Democratic Party is in disarray, that our goose is cooked, that whether it's redistricting or just sort of the historic pattern of midterms against a sitting president, that we're just going to lose. I think the rumors of our demise have been greatly exaggerated. We have come through the redistricting process in far better shape than all of those pundits would have predicted. In fact, many are now acknowledging that on redistricting alone, we might gain a few seats. So we've got that going for us. And by the way, we will have opportunities to win more seats right here in California. So we'll have things for us to work on in the trenches very close to home. The second thing is that the rumors of our inability to govern, this narrative you keep hearing about the Biden agenda being dead in this Congress, that too is greatly exaggerated. On the Build Back Better Act, which my friend Mike Thompson mentioned, we are a single US Senator away from putting historic transformative legislation on President Biden's desk, a single US Senator. And we're not giving up on getting that done. We will get a deal with Senator Manchin, and it will include the climate title and many other very, very important pieces of this legislation. So we're going to do that. We've already delivered infrastructure. The benefits of those projects are going to start rolling out in the months ahead. People are going to see in a very tangible and real way what it means to have a government that is delivering for you. And we're about to send to the president's desk a really important bill called the America Competes Act, which will reclaim our global leadership role on science and technology and all sorts of other things that are essential to our success in the 21st century economy. So we're moving. We're getting this country moving. We're delivering for this country. I think there's an opportunity for a sense of unity as we come together to confront this terrible invasion by Russia in Ukraine. And we have got a story to tell. The key will be our unity as a Democratic Party. And I know that tonight we stand together in this moment, understanding how important it is, understanding that we should be fired up because we can win. And I know that if we go out there together and do what you and other good Democrats always do in these big moments, hit the phones, hit the grassroots efforts in every way we can, raise the money, stay together, we're going to prevail. We're going to come through. And I'm just proud to be a fellow Democrat with all of you, proud to be with you tonight at the crab feed. I'll hand it back to Mike McGuire, but thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, Congressman Huffman tells it how it is. He brings the heat, and I like what he said about Kevin McCarthy, everybody. Let's see here, a font of word salad. Can I give it up? Let's give it up, everybody, to Congressman Jared Huffman. He tells it like he is. He fights for our values, and he's relentless for progressive issues here in the North Bay and across the country. Thank you so much, Congressman. We could not do this without you. He's also a major sponsor along with Congressman Huffman tonight, Congressman Thompson, excuse me. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we are now honored to be able to introduce our final award winner tonight. And no one is more deserving than our next award honoree. It's going to be the Trowbridge Award. The Trowbridge Award is a lifetime achievement recognition honoring an individual who has changed the face of the Democratic Party here in Sonoma County. It was named after Bob Trowbridge, who was the chair of the Sonoma County Democrats for many years. And the award celebrates the kind of day in and day out generosity of spirit, as well as vision for fairness that strengthens the fabric of each of our communities. It is our great pleasure tonight to give this award to Gloria Robinson. And I think that many of you know Ms. Robinson. She is the founder of Petaluma Blacks for Community Development, an organization that continues to educate as well as encourage equality in action. She has been, get this, she's been recognized as the Woman of the Year. She's been recognized as the Petaluma Citizen of the Year. She served on the Sonoma County Commission on the Status of Women, the Sonoma County Black Forum. She's also been a board member for Petaluma Health Center. She's a longtime active member of the local NAACP, and she continues to be able to inspire others to be able to step up and bring positive change to the communities that they call home. Ladies and gentlemen, stomp your feet and clap your hands. Let's give a warm welcome to our 2022 Trowbridge Awardee, Miss Gloria Robinson.
Good evening, my fellow Democrats. Wow, and thank you, Mr. McGuire, for such a beautiful introduction. I am so happy, blessed, and thankful, and honored to receive this award, the Bob Trowbridge Lifetime Achievement Award. He was a lifetime member of the Santa Rosa Democratic Club and served as chairman of the Democratic Central Committee for many of years. I am a lifetime Democrat, raised by a great aunt that was very active in her community. And she told me, when you get of age to register to vote, you will be voting Democrat. And here I am still a Democrat, and I'm proud of what I am. I served as vice president of the Petaluma Democratic Club, 1984 through 1986. I would like to thank the Southern Sonoma County Democrats for nominating me for this award. And I'd like to thank everyone that voted for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so proud to be a Democrat. And I would like to share my award with each of you. Thank you.
Oh, Gloria, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and congratulations, something so well-deserved. All of our awardees, thank you. Anthony Rendon is a Los Angeles native representing the 63rd Assembly District in Southeast LA County. The son of working class parents and grandson of Mexican immigrants, he earned his BA and MA from Cal State Fullerton and a PhD from UC Riverside. He worked as an educator, a nonprofit executive director, and an environmental activist, which inevitably drew him into politics. In 2016, he became Speaker of the Assembly. Under his leadership in 2019, he conducted one of the most progressive legislative sessions in memory, with historic changes to law enforcement use of force rules, expanded work protections, and restrictions on predatory lending. In 2020, he led the Assembly in addressing the COVID-19 crisis with the passage of bills addressing the health and economic consequences, including multiple eviction moratoriums and legislation to support families and small businesses. We welcome Speaker Anthony Rendon.
Good evening, Sonoma County Democrats. I'm proud to join my colleagues, Senate President Pro Tem Toni Atkins, Assemblymember Cecilia Aguiar Curry, and Assemblymember Jim Wood as sponsors. I'm honored that Joy Sterling asked me to tape this greeting for members and supporters of the Sonoma County Democratic Party. Joy continues to do an amazing job, and I see many familiar names on tonight's sponsorship list. I want to thank all of you for your hard work and dedication. Your efforts allow us to maintain the Democratic supermajorities in both houses of the legislature and allow us to push forward progressive policies that we can all be proud of. Most recently, we were able to pass historic legislation and funding to expand high-speed broadband access to rural areas. In addition, we passed landmark legislation that will provide greater worker protections for fast food franchise employees. But there is clearly more work to be done and many new seats to fill in the legislature. While we made more progress than ever on single-payer legislation, vacancies and early retirement severely hampered our ability to successfully bring single-payer to the floor for a vote this year. My hope is that we will be able to ultimately pass legislation that makes healthcare a human right in California when we have a full caucus filled with a fresh new class of progressive Democrats. You can make this happen by continuing to support Democratic candidates and progressive ideals. Thank you again, and have a great evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give a round of applause to the Speaker of the State Assembly, Mr. Rendon? Thank you so much for joining us. It's wonderful to see you, and thank you for your leadership. Thank you to Jim Wood. Thank you so much to Assemblywoman Aguiar Curry, and of course, Assemblymember Mark Levine for standing strong for the North Bay. All right, we are just about to wrap up another Democratic crab feed, but I got to tell you, we couldn't do this without you. We couldn't be more grateful, especially this year, for your support. Through thick and thin, whether it's wildfires, a global pandemic, or the disastrous years of Trump, you have always shown up. You've shown up and you've supported this amazing event year after year after year, and we couldn't do it without you. Now, there are so many to thank tonight. I want to say just a few thank yous, of course, to all of our sponsors and donors. We are incredibly grateful. We want to say thank you to all of our speakers. I got to tell you, Chairwoman Sabo, you did one hell of a job. You talk about a cavalcade of stars from the California Democratic Party. Thank you to this amazing organizing committee as well, who brought the heat, just like Congressman Huffman. And we also need to say a big thank you to all of our local elected officials who have joined us tonight, who have written checks tonight, and of course, a debt of gratitude to all the members of the Sonoma County Democratic Central Committee. Thank you for your leadership year in and year out. As I turn it back over to our chairwoman, I think that you will agree with me. Our prayers are with the people of Ukraine tonight. Their bravery is unmatched. And we condemn this autocratic thug, Vladimir Putin, who is advancing this disgusting war on the people of Ukraine. They're innocent. And it brings our work into sharp focus. We must organize. We must mobilize. We have to hold the House. We have to hold the Senate. We have to elect Democrats up and down the ticket. And we can never allow Trump-loving Republicans to take hold of this nation's foreign policy. Again, thank you for joining us. Let's give one more round of applause to the star of our show tonight. Thank you so much to our chairwoman, Pat Sabo. Take us away, Ms. Sabo.
Well, Mr. McGuire, thank you. What can I say? I want to congratulate, first of all, I really do want to congratulate all of our award winners, and a special thank you to our guest speakers. And what an incredible evening this was. I have to say, one of the things I plan on doing is, because we have this, I'm going to be playing it back when we reach those times through the coming year, as we're approaching elections and things might look a little bit bleak. I'm going to play this back so that I can be inspired what unfolded here this evening. So I really want to thank our awardees for your words, for the work that you've done. The speakers here tonight who just blew it out of the water. I really would like to thank you. And of course, a very special thanks to my really good friend, Senator Mike McGuire. Our friendship goes back a number of years. I believe you might have been 12 years old at the time. So, and we've continued, we've retained that friendship in spite of both of our actions. So you know what I'm talking about. You know, so many people made tonight possible that it's really difficult to thank each and every one of you, but I have to thank all of you. You know who you are. You know the time that you have put into this. But I have to give a very special shout out to Joy Sterling and Katharina Giudice for their outstanding work. Without them, we would not be celebrating the way we are this evening. So thank you to the two of you. And before we sign off here, lastly, as we leave here tonight, let our thoughts and our prayers be with the people of Ukraine. And with that, let's know why we are here. These are my friends. My friends and family. Yeah. So thank you to each of you.